a set of collective skills or techniques to enhance teamwork. When we talk about this specific C in terms of competency, this is the one in terms of, before we talk about individual skill sets, but this is a set of principles, techniques, or procedures that you use as a team that will cause your team to start to gel together and that you have a common language and a common way of handling things. This kind of goes back to the culture, structure, and systems, specifically culture and systems. Do you have a systematic way of handling things that transpire in your workplace? Competencies of teams. Developing high performance, developing skills for high performance. Number one, shared power. If you're going to be a team, you have to transition from what we call managerial to team leadership. It's a switch in your paradigm of thinking. You have to come from the boss and manager to being a facilitator if you want to have teams in operation. You have to start to share your power, which is very difficult. And it's very simple to share your power by really asking for people's opinions and allow them to participate in that process. Shared leadership, which is also similar to shared power, is that you share your leadership role. Sometimes you let somebody else take the lead. Part of that also is that the team becomes the leadership together collectively. That's a challenge and that's a threat if you're not comfortable with who you are. Shared leadership. Measurements of team metrics. Are you able to set expectations and performance as a team together? I found in my experience that sometimes you can take a whole hour defining what are the team expectations. Do you have a system in place or a method, or are you able to collectively to build team metrics? Running effective team meetings. This is where the rubber meets the road. A lot of time, a lot of our effort in building teams is sidetracked in team meetings because we don't know how to run effective team meetings. A team meeting or a meeting period is a whole set of skills by itself, and people take that for granted. But if you want to be a part of your team, and if you cannot facilitate that meeting properly, especially when I'm doing a volunteer service, then more likely you will lose me. Because if I'm volunteering and you cannot really handle that meeting and handle the people in that meeting, you have just wasted my time. There is a set of systems in place that you should really follow to be effective meetings to take place. And sometimes you have to brush up on that. Sometimes I find myself, if I'm gonna run a meeting and I'm gonna facilitate that meeting, I have to look at facilitation skills that I need to make that shift in how I handle people for that specific meeting. Using effective decision-making processes. What processes do you have in place? I find that sometimes when you try to make a decision, some people are brainstorming and some people are evaluating. You know, no, we just don't evaluate the suggestions. Let's just brainstorm. Let's be innovative at this point. And sometimes people are on two different pages. So if you really have a collective set of skills, techniques, or procedures in place, it will help you as a team to facilitate through that process. So that's a conversation that needs to happen so you as a team can be functioning together on the same page. Competencies of the team. Developing skills for high performance. Number one is setting good goals, or what we call SMART goals. A lot of people do not know what SMART goals are. We assume because we're in the field that everybody knows what a SMART goal is. Anybody know what a SMART goal is? Somebody give me the definition of a SMART goal.
Something that's reachable.
Mm-hmm. What do SMART stands for?
specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely.
Exactly, time sensitive, specific, measurable, attainable, reachable, time sensitive. SMART goals, which is something we write in treatment plans all the time, what we're supposed to. Number 2, establish open communication. Open communication is not as easy as it sounds, because when you disagree, are you able to be bold enough and confident enough without being concerned about damaging this relationship, and so I can be honest with you about what I think and feel about you or about the task? Can we disagree? Can we disagree and still be friends? Number 3, creating mutual respect and collaboration. I heard a lot of that when we broke off into groups. Respect and collaboration. Respect is not always easy, because the way I communicate with you may not be the way that you expect me to communicate with you, because you may find it offensive. And it depends sometimes on your culture. It may be your experience and your background. It may be a lot of different things that cause you to feel disrespected when I'm communicating with you. And I may not even mean that. That's when we go back to open communication. Let's have a conversation so we can get on the same page. Managing pace. There's always somebody on your team that's going to be quick pace and slow pace. I find that that's one of the things as a team leader. How do you find that pace that's right there in the middle for the advanced people and those who are less advanced? And how do you maintain that pace? That's a challenge, because if you're not moving at a proper pace, those who are high skilled, very quick decision makers, you lose them. If you go too fast, those who are not catching on, you lose them because they don't come along with the process, you know? So managing the pace is very important in terms of team competencies that you're to develop as a collective team competency. Encouraging risk-taking and innovation. Are you willing to take a risk to communicate? Are you willing to take a risk to do a task that you're not comfortable with? Are you willing to take that risk? Are you going to take a risk? Because your risk can means a lot to your development. If you want to develop, you have to be willing to take risks. Change management. Before we go any further, I want to take a 10-minute break. It's almost 3 o'clock. And do some water, go to the bathroom, and we're going to come back in about 10 minutes. Okay? Thank you.